Okay, we're gonna do Four Memories by Wilbur. This is a great song as requested. I'm glad that people requested it because I had never actually heard it before. So it's a cool song to learn, and I really like the fingerstyle he does on it and all that stuff. Once again, like, subscribe, and if you like my material and you're learning something from it, please feel free to donate. I'll have a PayPal link before, or if you even want, you can buy one of my songs on a Bandcamp page, which is really the same thing as donating, but up to you. It would be much appreciated. I love making these videos, but I'm doing them for free, so that would be awesome if you could help me out. So let's get down to the song. So it's not too bad. There's basically only 2 parts to the song, kind of 3 parts, and the rest is just varying it with strumming and stuff like that. But there's basically only 2 parts you really have to get down together, and the rest of it should be pretty easy. It does use some fingerstyle with the right hand. If you've never played fingerstyle before, I recommend clicking the link below. I have a fingerstyle kind of crash course video that should help you get started on that, but I don't want to spend the whole first half of the video talking about how to use your fingers on the guitar and all that, so let's save some time. The guitar is tuned like a regular guitar, and I mean, what I mean is E, A, D, G, B, E. No fancy tunings here. And then your capo is going to go on the 4th fret. Once again, like I say in my other videos, when you put the capo on, by the way, I use a Shub capo. I think they're the best, but any old capo will do. People were asking about that. When you go to the 4th fret, 1, 2, 3, 4, try to go right behind the fret. It almost disappears. I mean, right on top of the fret. Not too far on top, because that'll deaden the string. Kind of like right behind it, but almost on top. Normally, you wouldn't do that when you're fretting with your hand, but with the capo, that'll help it from going out of tune. Once you capo it up, tune it again. Make sure your guitar's in tune. If your guitar's not in tune, nothing matters. All the stuff you're going to play is going to sound bad. So very, very important always to play in tune. You can never be too precise about that. Okay, so let's get started on the song. Once again, oh yeah, that's another thing. The song uses a lot of basic chords like G, A minor 7, C major 7. And I'm going to call these, this first chord, for example, is a G chord that we're going to play. And I'll tell you the chord actually. 2nd finger is on the 7th fret of the 6th string. 1st finger is on the 6th fret of the 5th string. The 4th and 3rd string are open, and then the 3rd finger is on the 7th fret of the 2nd string. Now this is a G chord, kind of. It's a G chord when there's no capo and you finger it down here like everybody knows it, you call it a G. That's why I'm calling it a G, because it looks like a G. With the capo on, everything is shifted up 4 pitches, so sound-wise, if you were going to write it down in manuscript paper, write it or play it on the piano, it would not be a G. But on the guitar, it looks like a G, so that's why I'm calling it that. In reality, it's actually a B chord. And again, if that is all really confusing to you, don't worry. I'm going to explain it piece by piece, how to put your fingers everywhere, and you won't even have to know the names of the chords if you just want to learn the song and get it over with. But just so you know, I'm calling it a G because it looks like one, not because it sounds like one. So here's the big pattern you have to do. This is a very popular pattern. A lot of people refer to it as Travis picking. It's popular in the song Dust in the Wind. But he uses it on this song, and he uses it really well. It's really, really awesome. So I'm happy to teach this again to people. So let's get right to it. Your thumb plays the 6th string, while at the same time your middle finger is going to play the 2nd string. So the first thing you do is that. Then the thumb plays the 4th string, and the index finger plays the 3rd string. After each other, not at the same time. So the first one's together, then thumb, index. And it goes 1, 2, and. So you get that down. And we'll go to the next part. What did I do there? So after I did those 2, I did thumb on the 5th string and middle finger on the 2nd string. Oops. You can see this hand. Then, the last thing you do, once again, you play your thumb on the 4th string, index finger on the 3rd string. So now it's really slowly. So both thumb, 1st thumb, 2nd thumb, get that down really, really good, just on that one chord. If you have to do it slowly just to get it together, please do. Don't play it fast and sloppy. Like that. Once you get it done, and you can do it that speed, now we can move through the rest of the chords, and the rest of the song is pretty much just that pattern over and over and over again on different chords. So once you get it on that first chord, now we can get started. The second chord is an A minor 7 chord. It looks like a C chord. Everybody knows that chord. A minor 7, you just take off your third finger. So what it is you're going to skip the 6th string. 5th string is open. 4th string is a 2nd finger on the 6th fret. 3rd string is open. And then 2nd string is 1st finger on the 5th fret, right up in front of the capo. And the finger pattern is exactly the same with this hand, but we're not using the 6th string anymore. So I've worked you together slowly. It should feel the same though. It's thumb plays the 5th string while the middle finger plays the 2nd string. And then the thumb plays the 4th string, index finger plays the 3rd string. Then the thumb plays the 5th string, middle finger plays the 2nd string. So now we have then once again, the thumb plays the 4th string and the index finger plays the 3rd string. So here, this is the second chord. So now, moving from one to the other. Sounds familiar now, right? When you do this, make sure all the notes are even. You don't want da 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 da. It'll sound better, nice and smooth. That's the last chord. So the last chord is also pretty easy. This is really easy. It's basically a C chord where you take off your first finger. If you know a C chord, you can jump right to it. And I'll show it to you. 3rd finger is on the 7th fret of the 5th string, 2nd finger is on the 6th fret of the 4th string, and then the 3rd and 2nd string are both open. So that's all it is. The pattern is going to be exactly the same as it was in the last chord. On the second chord we learned, the way you did that, do it exactly the same with this hand. So that shouldn't be too hard to learn. I'm not going to go over the pattern again. You can just go back, and if you don't remember it, go back and review it in the last chord. It's exactly the same. You're just changing your left hand from that to that. Difference is, when you play that second to last note in the pattern, so it's both, thumb, index, thumb, middle. When you go back to the thumb again and play the 4th string, then the 1st finger on the G string, you hammer. So what is that? Don't worry, I'm going to explain all this. Let's try that slowly. So if you're holding this chord, the chord that we're learning, your thumb is playing the 4th string, the D string. Take your 2nd finger off, your middle finger. Play it open. While holding your 3rd finger there, you hammer on. So you play the note, and then your left hand, you hammer on. I'll talk about this in another video, but here it is how you do it. Basically what you're doing when you're hammering is the string is already vibrating, and you're smacking down on the fret fast and accurate enough that it keeps vibrating. It does it really fast, you hardly even notice it. So the key to getting a good hammer on is not to go slow like that and not to press really hard. It's just fast and accurate, and you want to get right on the ball of your finger. You don't want to go, it's just, think about it like hammering a nail into the wall. You want to get right perfectly in the middle of the nail. It's not necessarily about hitting it really hard, it's about hitting it accurately. Take some practice. Once you get good at it, it's actually almost easier. Last chord, piece by piece. So fingering that chord, its thumb is going to play the 5th string while the middle finger plays the 2nd string. Then thumb plays the 4th string, index finger plays the 3rd string, thumb plays the 5th string, middle finger plays the 2nd string. Now, this is where you do the hammer on. Your thumb plays the 4th string while you hammer. your left hand. Then your index finger plays the third string. So that whole hammer section, hammer. So instead of just, it goes. In slow motion. After he does that, thumb on the 5th string, middle finger on the 2nd string, thumb on the 4th string with the hammer, first finger on the 3rd string. So that's right after the first hammer. So really, really slowly, it's part, thumb on the 5th string, middle finger on the 2nd string, and then you take your hand off, maybe not that dramatically, thumb on the 5th string, first finger on the, thumb on the 4th string, then first finger on the 3rd string. And that brings you, that's the whole pattern of the whole verse. Don't worry, the rest of the song is a lot easier than that. So here's the whole thing on the last chord. Really slow. So now we have anyway, kind of messed that up last time, but you get the idea. So he does that, this is in the intro, he does that whole thing, what we just did, one time through. The second time through, when he gets to this chord, he doesn't do that hammer-on pattern, he just hits it once. That's the thumb on the 5th string and the middle finger on the 2nd string, and then just keeps playing that 5th string with his thumb. Does that. Third finger, third finger open. It's kind of like a way to let you know he's about to start singing and change sections. So we'll play that whole part. Here's the first time. Hammer. Second time. Now this time he stops. Open. So really, once you get that first part down with the fingerstyle pattern and then doing the hammer on the last chord, the rest is pretty much just learning the chords, and they're not really that bad. So that's the intro. Once the verse happens, it's the exact same thing. He does it 7 times. The 7th time, he does the walk down. This again. We call that the walk down when he does the pedal, because you're walking down to the... So in other words, he does this. That's one time through. He does that 7 times. But the 7th time, he goes... walk down. And he does the verse again. And he does it 4 times through, without the walk down, with the hammer on. 4 times, and then he goes to the bridge, which is a different section. This is the other section you'll have to learn. Love this. That was kind of it, right? Yeah. That's what it is. So basically, I'll just give you the chords. It's an F6-9 chord. You put your first finger on the 5th fret of the 6th string and your second finger on the 2nd fret of the... No, 5th fret, sorry, the same fret. So first finger is on the 5th fret of the 6th string, second finger is on the 5th fret of the 2nd string. Now you're going to do the pattern, but you're going to skip the A string, the 5th string. It's not going to happen on this one. So going over it really quickly, it should feel the same though. The thumb plays the low 6th string while the middle finger plays the B string at the same time, the 2nd string. Then thumb on the 4th, index on the 3rd, thumb on the 6th, middle on the 2nd, then thumb on the 4th, index on the 3rd. So the pattern is basically the same, but the thumb starts low here and it skips the A. It moves back and forth. You don't want that A string, that 5th string. Look at my hand. See how I'm skipping over the A? That's the first chord. The second chord is just a straight up F bar chord. If you don't know how to do bar chords, big deal. You gotta, I suggest maybe looking on YouTube, figuring out the best way to do those bar chords. If enough people request, I can do a video myself, but there's gotta be like 1,000 out there. Anyway, this is an F bar chord. Your first finger bars across the 5th fret, pressing down all the strings at the same time. I'm pressing on the side of my finger. I'm not bending it like this. I'm flattening my finger out, pressing everything. Then, 3rd finger is on the 7th fret of the 5th string. Pinky is on the 7th fret of the 4th string. And 2nd finger, middle finger, is on the 6th fret of the 3rd string. The pattern is pretty much the same. It's actually the first chord we learned in the entire song, this. The pattern you do with that one, it's that pattern. This will save some time, I don't have to explain the whole thing. So it's both 4th string, 3rd string, 5th string, 2nd string, 4th string, 3rd string. That first chord, the entire song, it's that pattern with the right hand, exactly the same, but now here. Okay, and then after that is a cool chord. It's called a C over G. Same pattern on this hand as you did with the last chord. The pattern you did with this, exactly the same on this 3rd chord. So what it is it's a C chord, but there's a G in the bass. And that's what it would be like down here. This is in a different key. But what it is your 3rd finger is on the 7th fret of the 6th string. Your pinky is on the 5th fret. Your 3rd finger is on the 7th fret of the 6th string. Your pinky is on the 7th fret of the 5th string. Your 2nd finger is on the 6th fret of the 4th string. 3rd string is open. Then the 2nd string is your 1st finger on the 5th fret. I love that chord. So let's go through the first 3 really slowly. There's that F6-9. You skip the A string with this hand. Then you have that big F bar chord, which is the same pattern as the first chord we learned. And this C over G, when we just learned, same pattern as the last chord. And the next one's pretty easy. This is a really easy, it's a basic G chord. You just do your 3rd finger, that's it. Just your 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the 6th string. And the pattern with this hand is going to be the same as it was as the first chord in this section. So that F6-9, that first chord we did, the way we skipped the A string with this hand, you're going to do the same thing now, but with this chord. All you have to do, 3rd finger there, skipping the A string, the 5th string, then the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings are open. So slowly, F6-9, F bar chord, C over G, and a regular old G. Flub the last part, but you get the idea. After that, he goes back into the intro again. He just does it one time with the walk down. Then he goes back into the verse and he's singing again. The verse is the same as the intro, that first part. Forgot to do the hammer on. He does that 4 times. The 4th time, he does the walk down. That's pretty much the nuts and bolts of the song. After that, we go into strumming part. Good news is it's the same exact chords. He's just strumming on them now. So there's two ways to do this. I'm looking around for a pick. You can, here we go, this will do. You can have a pick nearby, like put it on your knee, or some people put it in their mouth. I don't suggest that, especially if you're gonna sing. Or put it on the table next to you or something. And you can pick up the pick. Or if you don't want to use your pick, and I have a feeling he might be doing this just because the change is so quick, you can just strum with your fingers. You can either use your thumb or can use your index finger. A lot of people do that. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of holding my index finger out there like that, and strumming with my nail. I don't like it so much because it kind of hurts, but maybe I'm just being complaining too much. I like to use a pick, so if I can, I'll pick up a pick in the middle of the song. So because I like to do that, let's teach it like that. But just so you know, you can do it with your thumb or your index finger. So here, he's basically doing a bunch of different patterns here. I think he's having fun with it. I don't think he's really strict to one specific pattern strumming, but there's kind of two that he's doing a lot. So I'll just show you those two, and then you can pick and choose how you want to do it. So he starts on that G chord, that first chord. The chords are exactly the same. So these are the chords of the verse. You should already know them by now because you've done all this 1,000 times. So that first chord, that G chord, you take it and you strum down, down, up, up, down, up. Down, down, up, up, down, up. Then A minor 7, that second chord. Then on the third chord, the C major 7. Same thing, but on the last one, on the C major 7, it's not exactly the same. It's so what am I doing there? I'm going down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And the second down is louder. You hit it harder. Down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So it's down. So that's kind of the way he does it, like the first time, and then after that, he kind of seems to keep doing the last pattern we did, the one where it's down, down, up, down, up. But he does it on every chord now. So on the G chord, he goes quiet, loud, up, down, up, quiet, loud, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, last chord, down. Does that one time. So what he's doing is doing that same C major 7, but he puts his pinky, or you can do it with these fingers if you prefer. I like to do it with the pinky on the 7th fret of the first string. This is really detailed stuff. If you don't want to do all that, you just want to do one pattern all the way through that strumming, it's totally cool. It'll sound fine. I'm sure he's done that before as well. So I don't want to get too obsessed with getting exactly like the recording, but for the sake of teaching, I'm doing that. He does that one time. I think he goes, this is the last chord, down, down, up, down, up, 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 up. You know, it just keeps doing ups. You don't have to do that though. He does that 4 times through. So let me play the whole thing just so you get the idea of what I was talking about. Starting on the G chord, down, down, up, down, up, A minor, C major 7. Does it 4 times. Like I said, maybe just pick one of those patterns and stick to it. I think it would be a little bit easier than trying to vary it exactly the way he did. And then he goes to the bridge. Remember that? This part with the... second part with the chords we learned. It's the same exact thing, but now he's strumming. So F6-9, and it's the same kind of strumming patterns. Down, down, up, down, up. Then the whole full bar, F chord. Then that big C over G chord. Then he does that open G. To say and play at the same time. I'll do it slowly. F6-9, down, down, up, down, up, full F, down, down, up, down, up, C over G, down, down, up, down, up, easy G, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Fourth time he does it, he changes the strumming a little bit. So the first chord, the F6-9, it's down, up, down, up. So in rhythm, down, up, then a regular F, down, up, back to the C over G, down, up, and on the last chord, that easy G, he just strums one down. So here's the fourth time. Then he goes back to the intro, go back to the verse. The first thing we learned in the whole song. That 3 times. And the last time, he stops on the last chord. So on the last chord, what I did is I just played my third finger on the 5th fret of the... No, I'm sorry, the 7th fret of the 5th string. My thumb plays that, third finger there, and my middle finger plays the 2nd string. So again, that last time. That's it. That's the whole song. Congratulations, we got through it. Great song. And once again, please like and subscribe and or donate if you can. And I'm going to attempt to play along with this thing. And I'll talk through it as I play along with it. Wish me luck. And so now you can hear the whole song, all the parts, all the way through as I'm explaining them. And yeah, here we go. Second time, walk down, back to verse. Second time. Third time. Fourth time. Fifth time. Sixth time. Seventh time. Walk down. Back to the verse again. This time we do it 4 times.
Wasted my time, 'cause I'm built by you, and I can't say that I'm back, it is over, 'cause that wouldn't be true.
Bridge.
So thank you. Oh, thank you.
Stop on the G now. Back to the intro. With the walk down. Verse 3.
We both remember that day in the summer.
Second time.
You sat on me, and we cried.
Third time.
Oh, how we cried.
Fourth time. the strumming. Last time, third time, just stops right there. Woohoo! I made it. So, I hope you enjoyed that. Oops. I certainly enjoyed it. That was a great song. And let me know if you have any questions, and please, write in the comments anything, any songs that you like. There's a lot of people requesting Saline Solution. A lot of people have done that already, but maybe I'll do it again. But this one's really cool because nobody's really done it, or if they have, I haven't found it, and they probably haven't done it right because it's quite confusing. So, like, subscribe, and please donate if you can, and I'll keep them coming. Thanks.